Taylor, and hopefully welcome back to the White House Kitchen, where we're going to talk a little bit about some new products, and we're making us a meatloaf. And I'm going to start with this because the twist and chop, and our blade goes up and down and all around, not all around, but it goes up and down. So it's a fantastic food processor to get it all done, so you don't typically have to go in there and scrape and do some stuff. Now, Smarty Jones here forgot to get a paper towel because I cry when I do onions, and I don't like to cry. I do want to tell you, in this meatloaf, I'm trying to go with a higher protein meatloaf. And the reason I chose to do meatloaf, let's pause for a second. I'm your weird friend. I say weird stuff, but I don't always say what the auto-generated captions say that I say, just FYI. You got disclaimer. You got to know that. Okay, so I'm going to start with our tiers here of onion. It's going to be oniony. It's going to be ranchy. I love French onion with ranch. So we're going to use this. This won't be available until September 1st. So wait a minute. It'll just be a day. But while I'm telling you it won't be available until September 1st, just know that we have items that are going away to make room for the new items. So today you might want to shop the sales section or ask me for a list, and I can text or message it to you of the things that are on the list to be dropped. Like our boat press that I made s'mores brownies with, delicious. You can make cornbread cups, all kinds of things. Now I'm going to pulse, and then I'm going to hold her down. Hopefully it's not too loud. But typically I found I can mince up an onion in about 6 seconds. This is just going in our meatloaf. Well, I'm going to show you. Now, I did use this earlier to do Parmesan and our chip, and I videoed that. Hopefully it turned out okay. This feels like it sticks a little bit, so you might have to give a little extra pull, but don't do too much extra, because then you might, you know, if you're like my husband, could make a mess because he did that opening something once. So here is our chopped onion. Now the blade went up and down while it was processing this. We'll put that in a minute. I started with 3 eggs and 2 pounds of, I think it's 93.7 ground beef, because I don't want all the extra fattiness and oil in my loaf pan. Okay, so twist and shout. Let me plug this in. So we're done with this, but I used it for 3 different things. Parmesan, Quest, so I said I was trying to add protein. Instead of breadcrumbs, I used these chips because I know ranch and onion go delicious together. We're going to move this over here out the way. If you had some old bread, like I have sourdough sandwich loaf that I made in a bread maker, because sometimes I just need fast and easy, but I still want to try to do good quality food at home. So of the new items we have, we'll also have a, is it a cup, a zester, cup, grater? Don't get me lying, but I don't remember the name. But you just spin your stuff all around, and you can do this with lemon, lime, orange, anything you want to zest up kind of small or great, like this Parmesan. Now remember, I said if you have children's, they could do this. Just make sure they keep their hands away, which there's a little doodad that comes with this to like stick into your stuffs to protect your fingers right here. Not usually a fan, but if you have children, you might want to use that. So I just wanted to grate a little bit of this up to show it to you. It will be available tomorrow. You know, think cup slicer, but it's a zester. This is my parm. I cut it like this so that it wasn't a big old chunk I was trying to put on this little grating surface. Okay, so what you'll want to do now that we've grated it is 2 turntables and a microphone. You'll want to spin it around. I'm going to show you why I'm spinning it around, because there's a wiper basically on the bottom side of this to scrape the stuffs off. So, boop, boop, boop. Okay. And now there's a little tab right here where I can hold that down and pull the zester up. And we have grated Parmesan. I don't want to tip it too much because I grated quite a bit. Okay. I did roughly 3/4 of a cup in the twist and chop. You could put a lid on this. There's a lid somewhere. Oh, it's holding my garlic. So there's a little bit of peeling in there. You can put the lid on this and save it for later if you want to. I would probably do that with zest. unless you were putting the Parmesan in something, because I'm going to say when you freshly grate or shred something, cheese, it melts great. But the reason that the store puts anti-caking agents in it's because it's going to stick together and clump. So you could knock this down. And the measurement here on the back, that's 3 tablespoons of, well, if I get it kind of level, almost 3 tablespoons, like 2 3/4 tablespoons of grated Parmesan. So I'm just going to dump this in my, whoop, wrong cup. I don't guess it matters, it's all going in the same place. In multiple ways. Okay. So, cup zester. Let me show you the bottom of this blade. I don't want to make a mess though, because y'all know I'll clean as I go. So see this little, this right here is what you turn and it cleans it off. Okay. Enough with the cup zester. It's awesome. You can also lid it on the top to protect the fingers when you're grabbing it, in case you have any of those littles. Now, this is chip. So twist and shout. We did the food processor on the chips. It took 3 bags, y'all. Those chips aren't cheap. So if you have leftover bread that you've made or just some stale-ish bread, feel like you can use that if you want breadcrumbs. I'm trying to go higher protein, just other ways to sneak it in, basically. And then we have our cheese. So 3/4 cup of cheese, about 1 cup to 1.5 cups-ish of crumbs or chips. I would not add too much salt if you're putting the chips in there, and Parmesan seems salty to me. I have about 1/3 cup of our French onion dip mix. Y'all, it's a shizzity shiznickety. I keep a couple of those on hand all the time. Okay, so we've done that. Next up, I'm going to do our garlic. Let me show you. So I stuck it in there, peel and all. I only have one that's peeled. So peel and all. But it's in here, so peel. I'm gonna press it. I'm gonna press it into, I want you to be able to see it, but I don't want to stick sticky in my dry stuff. So pressing it in here, and you hear it popping and cracking. And then we're about to be to the point where it's gonna be like shooting out of there. We're talking about garlic, okay? Let me put that back down in there. It's trying to shoot up the side because I got a big clove. I'm doing 3 cloves of garlic so that we have about 1 tablespoon. What in the Sam Hill are you doing, Mufasa? He's making noise. Okay, there's no telling with Katniss. AKA Mufasa, Mufles, you name it. He's got a weird nickname. Okay, I'm gonna throw another one in there before I go scraping that off. Oh look, we're gonna put that in there. Okay, here we are. I like to garlic press. The garlic machine is cool that minces and slices and makes a paste, right? However, I feel like the mincing, like you're gonna have to either kind of smash or press it if you have big ones, or slice them a little bit and then mince, because it'll be like the thickness of your garlic. That makes sense. I'll show you sometime. If you were here earlier this week and I made some delicious taco cups, let me just tell you how I failed with the delicious taco cups. I did not spray my muffin paper enough. And the reason I always do an extra clove, because I have one, is because when I don't peel it, we have extra garlic all up in our peelings. And I feel like I lose some. And y'all, I don't know about you, garlic is the shizzity shiznickety. I think I just put peel in there. There's some peel. We're going to take that out. Okay, this last one's not peeled, or not got a peeling, so I peeled it. Anyway, I didn't spray the taco cup paper very well, so I had to saw it off with the tomato knife to eat those. So, but it sparked an idea. So, you know those egg bites that everybody loves? I also bought some egg whites. I'm gonna make some of those with taco meats. And those flavors will be delicious. So you can have them with nachos, you can eat them by themselves, whatever. Okay, we pressed our garlic. We're gonna toss all this in there here in just a second. Now, the new item that is available currently, or set of loaf pans, these are longans that come with the lid. Now, don't stick the lid in the oven, it'll melt. But it is fantastic if you want a lid one for storage. Get the garlic off of you. And then, if you need it to be stackable and to save space in your Frigidaire, You can do that. And then there's another brilliant set that is available today at an introductory rate or price. If you're watching on August 31st, you can get that. Otherwise, they'll be available, of course, tomorrow because they are a new fall item, but they, from what I understand, will not be the introductory price. I don't know for sure until tomorrow. I don't have the inside scoop, sorry, on that. I have the inside scoop on some new products that I just showed you. So we had the cup, grater, and the twist and chop. This is what we're going to put our meatloaf into. So I did 2 pounds of ground beef, 93.7, 3 eggs are already in here. Up in protein again. So I'm using cottage cheese, and just know that I absolutely hate cottage cheese, but it's really great in cornbread and some other things to add protein. Now, I would also be the person that wants to like not make it chunky textured. This is great for solids on one side and liquid on the other. We're going to pull that back down so we don't have a mess. Maybe not. Okay, so we have that. I'm going to put my dry stuff in and we're going to mix. So chips, Parmesan, garlic. I've got a little bit of the bag in here. Don't eat the bag. French onion dip mix, which was 1/3 cup. And then we have, I forgot, 1/3 cup of ketchup. You could also, especially if you're going Italian, do tomato sauce. And then you could add some Italian seasoning. I do no sugar added ketchup. And then it calls for Worcestershire sauce, y'all. I don't have any. It's a staple that I usually have. I mean, if I have some, I couldn't find it. Or it's in the mouse pantry that I abandoned. So that was 3 tablespoons. I did coconut aminos as a sub for the Worcestershire sauce. So you'll see this again because we're gonna make an Asianish dish where I'm making a sauce, just a simple sauce to go with it with our pad thai. Okay. I'm going to add a smidgen of salt, but not much, only because, y'all, Hercules, I can't get this open. There we go. I love a bouillon paste. It's so good. It's like probably like our umami seasoning. Just deepens the flavor. Since we're using beef, I'm using the beef paste. I'm just going to do a little bit because it's hella salty. And we already have chips in here, and I feel like parm is also like a salty flavor. So just letting you know, I'm only going to do a couple cracks of our salt because I'm super sensitive to the salt. This also is super great at scraping out this here. So if I hadn't already raw meated my beater, I would pick this up and bring it over to you. However, I did a little break and mix. Ooh, don't do that. Okay, so I forgot. I also have blades in here, so let me get the blade out. It makes weird squishy noises. My apologies for that. Okay, this is our normal size cutting board. It's really great for all the stuff for when you need to put it in the sink or toss some peelings. This is a mix and scrape. It's our small or mini. I actually think it's the mini. I'm not 100% certain. I did not completely measure this onion. Hopefully it's not too much. I thought about saving some for a little onion gravy, but it looks like that's not happening because it just pretty much all went in here. I don't know that you can get too much onion. I think you can get too much moisture, but I feel like being the lean beef that we have, that may not be possible either. So this needs to go into the sink. I need to rinse my hand off. I just got onion juiced. Okay, we're going to do a crack of some salt and pepper, and I'm going to move my trashiness over here. My shoes are squeaking. That's not gas, just FYI. We'll move this a little closer into the light. Okay, I need to put my stuff in the fridge. Move this out of the way. I need salt and pepper. That's a group. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of pepper, so if you are, you do the cracking that you like of the pepper. We're just getting a hint. I'm gonna do a couple cracks of our salt. Done. And now we're gonna mix a roux, and I'm trying to decide if I want to go grab my shield. And I'm just going to do it on the lowest setting. Let me scooch it. Do I have a paper towel? I do. We coconut aminoed. Okay. Clean as you go. It's paused because, oh, snap. We need to get it off the cream. I like custom in one. And it's going to go slow. And you don't want to overmix, so I would say do not walk away when you're doing a meatloaf. I just kind of want to get her mixed in. Just till it's combined and I don't see big clumps of my seasoning kind of on top. Ooh, I smell the ketchup. Okay, I think that's probably good. Now I'm going to use the same little mixing scrapers that I had for our twist and chop and get this off of there. FYI, I don't like to touch meat, so if you're a person that likes to get your hands all up in it, feel free. I'm going to use the mixer. I don't like that. It's gross. I don't ever want to touch the raw meats. And I'm panicking a little bit on the inside about getting the speeder off of here. So I'm going to grab one of those sanitizing wipes. I couldn't figure out which way to push it. I don't want to touch it. Got me a little trash bag over here. Yay. Okay, just inspected my hand. We got us a big old onion I missed. It'll be okay. So, you hear that? Now, since it's 93.7, I'm not going to put an oil in our pan. You can if you want to. I believe it's suggested to oil like normal or possibly use a little bit less. I'm going to put this in my trash. Come on. Sorry, I'm trying to be fast, y'all. Okay. Now, I'm going to pour it in here or scoop. You could get a bigger scoop if then you wanted to. Let me get this ketchup. And then I would say bake it, of course. I don't remember the time, y'all. We're going to have to check it. I'll do a thermometer check-ins. And see that white right there? That's cottage cheese. Remember, that adds some protein, some moisture, some cheesiness. I'm making meatloaf, one, because the hubs really likes meatloaf, and two, because I got a big old loaf of like sandwich sourdough to use that I did in the bread machine. It was glorious. That's it. So word for the live, how about beef? Where's the beef? And then today's Catter Day. So if you have any songs you'd like me to meow mix, cat meow in, feel free to share those. Just message me the word beef and then any song suggestions you might have for me to cat up, and I'll add it to a list for our Catter Day reels. And I think that's pretty much it. We're just going to keep scooping. So remember, message me the word beef and any song ideas you have for some Catter Day. Look at this. See, this is a big old loaf, y'all. Talking about meatloaf. I got more in here to scrape out. So this will be some meatloaf sandwiches. We'll pair it up with some other stuffs I don't have in my brain yet. You know, on Saturday mornings, I actually like to watch some food shows and get some inspiraciones for the week of foods. And then I plan my week of foods kind of based on the expiration dates of the meat so we can use it up. So if I'm planning on Saturday and getting the groceries but not cooking on Saturday, then throughout the week, whenever I am going to cook them up, I try to plan it or write it down by when I need to use my meat by. So I don't have a super solid plan of days. Our expiry dates and use by dates dictate when we are going to do that, so we don't waste, especially with the grocery prices right now. Thankfully, I am showing you the groceries right here, and it's a supply for a business. So, tax write-off city. All right, look at that. Big old meatloaf, 2-pounder right here, and then it's going to go in the oven when I figure out what I'm supposed to bake it on, because I forgot, and it's in my phone. And I need to also see if I need to bake it covered. And then we will do about 1/3 cup of ketchup, and I believe I'm going to throw some honey in there to sweeten it up a little bit with a good sweetener. All right, love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, message me the word beef and a